Charles Margaret Beach in the Rough Sea. Along with picturesque statues. Somebody taking photographs.
Just get it.
Root, just like these tree roots here, that's the root of a curry tree. So what happens is the tree will eventually get old and die and rot away, leaving a hole. Those holes sometimes wash out and get bigger, forming solution pipes, and then often animals will fall into the caves and get trapped in the cave, and then we often find fossils in the caves, and this is no exception. We found a few thylacine and possum, etc. fossils in this cave, and that's where they all came in, this specific hole over here. Okay, so where we came in was all man-made.
Unlike other caves,
I'm always amazed how nature replicates itself, and just there's no exception to this here, so maybe you can help me decide what that might look like there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, pretty good, eh? That's what we call our carry forest, and the carry trees are those tall trees, the tallest tree in the world. Okay, and they're found all around here, although in this area they don't grow quite as tall. Very high winds keep them short, as well as we don't have those really deep clay soils that we have further east from here. So if you go to Pemberton and Manjimup and Walpole, you'll find they grow a lot taller over there. Okay. Alright, and if you look behind you, there's a very tall structure here. That's called a stalagmite. And stalagmites will only form on a solid surface. Okay. So, what's happened with this stalagmite? This one is called our totem pole. It's been forming for a very, very long time. We're not sure how long, because we never know how long the dry periods are in the cave, so it's very hard to determine. But nonetheless, that's 9 meters high and weighs about 20 tons, so it's incredibly heavy.
Waterfall here in Jewel Cave.
Mommy, what's the background? Sticking out on the ground? On the ceiling?
Coral, yeah, most people think coral. So you could almost imagine yourself under the ocean, and we like to think it looks like coral, so we'll press buttons and enhance it for you, just to convince you even further. How's that? Okay, so you could well imagine yourself on the Ningaloo Reef, or the Great Barrier Reef for that matter, maybe the odd little clownfish darting in and out there. Yeah. Now this coral, cave coral, has formed as a result of that air movement I've spoken about before. And what happens is there's some sub-chambers beneath us that are basically in front of us here that go back a long way, up to 300 meters. And when the cave is breathing, that air moving out of the cave, when it's breathing out, will blow that solution back up the formations and it'll spread out. That's why it forms this coral structure, because that solution has been blown in an outward direction. Each drop will leave a microscopic little trail snail trail of crystal. Okay, and eventually you've got this flat sheet-like structure that's formed over obviously many thousands of years. Now the color you see in there is what we call our bacon rasher, and basically that is the tannin in the water. So the same as the brown in a cup of tea, that's also tannin. The tannin actually mixes in with the calcite and discolors it in places. Looking over water. Yes, the cave did have water in for about 40 years after the discovery, and by the mid-1990s the water had all but dried up. We're not 100% sure about that, but it's mostly got to do with climate change, because our rainfall has reduced by about 20% since the 1960s. So we believe it's got to do with climate change. And unfortunately, the underground system is the most vulnerable to reduced water levels, and that's probably why we don't have water in the cave anymore. To my left there's a laser line. Down below there, that's the level of the water in 1957. Just below what we call our organ pipes. That flowstone that's dropped vertically and separated out, those are the organ pipes. Okay, and in behind caramel shawls out there. Very good size ones. This one here is definitely a part of sort of a shawl and a stalactite combination, really. It's a bit odd, that one. There's a lot of formation after that shawl has formed, so it's actually built on the outside of it.
Right.
Yeah. And you'll see the caramel shawls are very similar. They're thin on the back, but they're very fat in the front. Stairs going back up. Ready? I bet that you need the energy or not. Yeah, it's crystal. It's a calcite crystal, yes. The same as quartz, it's the same as all sorts of other crystals, yeah. Pretty much, yeah, it's not for sale, that's for sure. Million years ago. And by about 1 million years ago, the sand dunes that I spoke about were formed into limestone. So this limestone is only about 1 million years old. It sounds like a long time, but from a geological point of view, it's very young. It's actually the youngest ridge of limestone in the world, between Cape Leeuwin and Cape Naturalist. Okay, so these caves are roughly 1.2 to 700,000 years old. So they're not.
Okay, here's the door. You're very special, like lovely day.
Yes, we're going to fly over right.
Oh, that's lovely too. Lots to see along the road.
That was before the feeling.
On the outside of Cape Leeuwin Lighthouse. Overlooking the just been up. And here's exploring a false chest. Lighthouse. The light shining. I'm not going across yet until you've gone across. And on the rope rail we're looking at the falls as we cross the river. And here are the falls from the other side. And now looking towards the bridge. Here at the Cascades in Pemberton. And the sun comes out. And this is the roster tree, age tree in the area, and one which they used to climb out the bushfires. And there's somebody climbing up the tree.
Natural smile, please. Manny, you going up?
And off they go. Len and Emma. And with his torch. his GoPro camera. Deciding whether to actually. Yeah. Have
Be
fun.
careful. And you. You don't need to leave your glasses behind, do you?
I won't be able to see anything. I don't know if I'll follow it.
Soon though, if you did get vertigo eventually.
I mean, I've been on a lighthouse today in a blazing, in a towering gale, but the
Be careful, Ben. Very careful.
and then has decided to come back. Don't blame her at all.
Yeah, Tim.
Yeah, I'm not tall enough for this.
You're having to make huge steps there.
That's what I mean, I don't feel safe.
Hmm. Ben's gone.
And then Emma's down. Ben coming down.
Bending these things.
I know there is.
Yeah, but you can't find my phone. No.
Oh. Yeah.
Well done.
Oh yeah.
Hello.
Turn your back.
And here at Point de Severo Doncastero on a gloriously sunny, warm Australian November day. Not.
And you're downwind from the van.
And what?
And you're downwind from the
I'm
van.
downwind from the van. It's freezing. And this is called Windows Lookout, and you can really tell why. And this is Couport Lookout. It is, you'll probably see it's quite sheltered. The island over there. Proper. As we look out to sea, you can see not much is in the land and the horizon, extremely black clouds, and likelihood is we're going to get wet in a few minutes. And same view, different climate. It's got a lot brighter and not quite sunny but reasonable. And this is Windy Harbour Beach. No. Not the
Penguins coming from.
not the longest, not the quite a remote beach. At the top of Mount Tower, overlooking the wetland plains.
Yeah, those are the places to be.
Here on Mandalay Beach, near Walpole. Absolutely deserted beach. Tide going out, as you can see on the beach. Absolutely nobody here apart from us four. Camping overnight, probably the worst campsite we've been. Here in this peaceful bay.